So today we'll again discuss some words to improve your vocabulary. So let's start with the word catalyst. And catalyst is basically a substance which increases the rate of a reaction without being consumed. So you may recall from chemistry about catalysts being used to speed up a certain chemical reaction and the important role they play in practical chemistry. Now, of course, catalyst can be used in a more figurative sense, so let's try to use that. So I have a sentence here. The course on stochastic processes worked as a catalyst which significantly improved John's research. The next word I have is debunk. And debunk essentially means to expose the falseness of a concept or theory. So let's look at a sentence with debunk. So I can come up with a sentence such as, a mathematical theorem can be debunked by showing an example where it does not work. So this is generally the case with most theories, is that you can come up with a variety of situations or examples where that theory is valid. But if somebody comes up with one example where that theory does not work, then essentially that theory breaks down. A similar word is refute. And refute means to prove a theory or statement to be wrong or fake or false. And also refute means to disprove something. So just like you prove something, you can disprove something or you can refute something. So let's create a sentence out of this. Smith's contention that the second spectrum of Timoshenko beams was fictitious was refuted by recent experimental data. So again, this is a nice word to use in various technical writing contexts. The next word I have is reconcile. And reconcile has two meanings. The first meaning is to restore friendly relations between some people or some countries or something like that. And the second meaning is to make one set of data consistent with a different set of data. So again, you may have seen reconcile used in terms of reconciling the differences between two countries which had a conflict based on some issues related to their border. But we'll use it in the second context related to data. So let's create a sentence out of this. John found that he needed to change the tuning parameters in the mathematical model to reconcile the predictions with experimental data. So again, this is something we often need to do when we use a model which contains a set of tuning parameters which need to be changed to match with certain results. So these are sometimes known as gray box models. Now the next word I have is conciliate. And conciliate means stop someone from being discontent or to placate somebody. So let's create a sentence out of conciliate. We need to validate the numerical results with published literature to conciliate the referee. So again, very similar to placate and can be used in the context of trying to satisfy somebody who is peeved with some issue. The next word I have is deduce. And deduce means to draw as a logical conclusion. So again, very useful word in technical writing. We can come up with some sentence with this. So let's say, we deduced a linear relationship between x and y from the experimental data. So again, basically looking at the logical consequence of certain facts, you can deduce a certain conclusion. Or we can write that Newton's laws can be deduced from Hamilton's principle. The next word on my list is collate. And collate basically means to collect or combine, and this is widely used in the context of texts, information, or data. So whenever you are collecting or combining pieces of text, information, or data, you can say you are collating these things. So we can use this in the context of a literature review. So let's write a sentence such as, to write a literature review, one should first collate all the literature in the field. So again, that's a good use of the word collate. Now the next word on my list is opacity. And this essentially has two meanings. The first meaning being not transparent or translucent. So again, this is from a perspective of a literal meaning. And the second meaning is not clear in meaning or difficult to understand. So let's try to create a sentence with this word. There was considerable opacity in Chen's description of the new mathematical model. We could not recreate his results from his publications. So again, this is a good use of this particular word. Now the next word on my list is empirical. That's EMPIRICAL. And this is something which is based on observation or experience rather than theory or pure logic. So essentially, we are talking of something which is coming from experiments or from looking at certain phenomena for some time and then jotting down the results and so on. So let us create a sentence out of this. There is empirical proof that replacing the singular matrices with unit matrices can sometime mitigate the convergence problems of quasi-Newton methods. So again, what this means is that there is no theoretical or mathematical or rigorous proof on this particular fact, but people have observed that if you have a computer code and you do certain replacements in case you are having convergence problems, then this particular code converges. So again, this is something which often takes place in many situations. So again, these are some words I had for you today, and I hope these words will help you to diversify your technical writing and also to use different words in order to make your writing richer compared to what it was in the past. So again, if I have done a proper job in this, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned to my channel. Thank you very much.